look at what it actually takes to build real wealth from the ground up. Because, spoiler alert, it really isn't about getting lucky. It's all about getting disciplined. 100,000. Now, for a lot of people, just hearing that number, reaching that first big milestone, feels completely impossible. We tend to assume, that we need some massive salary or some secret insider knowledge. But the source material makes it crystal clear. Getting to this number has absolutely nothing to do with being a financial genius. It is purely 100% a matter of behavior and endurance. The source perfectly validates how tough this is, stating, "These first 100,000 are like pushing a huge boulder up a mountain barehanded." I mean, it really does feel exactly like that, right? Every single inch feels utterly useless in the beginning. Every dollar you save feels totally invisible and, let's be honest, really boring. It's literally like watching grass grow while everyone else around you is out spending money and having fun. But if you're feeling frustrated by that slow progress, the material assures us that it's supposed to feel exactly that way. Okay, so here is the highly structured journey we're going to take through the source material today. We'll start with the 100K boulder, then move into discipline rules for beginners, cover defense against impulsive spending, unlock the magic of compound interest, explore the power of long-term thinking, and finally, discover why true wealth is peace. We are delivering a very concrete plan today, zero fluff. All right, Section 1, the $100,000 boulder. Getting started. So when you're just getting started, there's this massive myth out there that you need some grand, highly complex investing strategy right out of the gate. But the source lays out a surprisingly simple step-by-step plan. Step 1, accumulate. Step 2, build the foundation. And step 3, endure the boredom. People honestly hate hearing this, but until you hit that $100,000 mark, you aren't really investing, you're just accumulating. You're pouring the concrete. Because, well, you simply cannot build a skyscraper starting from the top floor. Moving on to Section 2, discipline rules. Behavior over genius. This brings us to a core philosophy. Your early financial years require zero financial genius, but they absolutely demand 100% behavioral discipline. Let's walk through the harsh but necessary rules laid out for beginners. 1. Obsessive saving. 2. Cut the excess. 3. Ignore the neighbor and their shiny new car. And 4. Avoid debt like radioactive waste. It's serious tough love, but the pain is a brilliant teacher. Honestly, no hot stock tip is ever going to save you from bad personal habits. There is a stark, destructive trade-off that most beginners make. The choice between looking rich and actually being rich. So many people eagerly exchange their long-term compound interest for a short-term dopamine rush, all just to impress total strangers. It's a huge psychological trap. Actually being rich means holding onto your capital. Looking rich is literally the fastest way to lose it. Let's jump into Section 3, capital defense, protecting your wealth. So once you actually start building that initial capital, you have to protect it fiercely. The source material is brutally honest here. The world rewards behavior that works, not your feelings. You have to constantly watch out for the 3 diseases: impatience, debt, and ego. These are the internal enemies that will destroy your wealth before it even gets going. Think about it. Impatience kills your compound interest. Debt completely chokes your daily cash flow. And ego? Well, ego just blinds your rational judgment. And here is a very blunt reality check from the source. 110,000. If someone earns $100,000 a year, but they spend $110,000, they aren't middle class. They are bankrupt with a good credit score. It's simple math, but it's exactly where so many people get permanently stuck, just running endlessly on a treadmill of their own making. So what are the actual habits we need to combat this? The source gives us a concrete list of capital defense habits. Live below your means, sit still and wait, ignore the market noise, and whatever you do, do not upgrade your lifestyle. Seriously, beware of the lifestyle inflation treadmill. We see this all the time, right? People hit a milestone and bam, they immediately trade their Toyota for a Tesla. They instantly destroy the compounding engine they just spent years building. Don't do it. Section 4, compound interest. The magic of that $100,000 mark. Because crossing that $100,000 mark, it isn't just a number on a screen. It triggers this massive mathematical and psychological shift. The source states that at $100,000, time transitions from being your enemy to becoming your employee. It's mathematical magic. You cross this invisible line where you are mentally already 1/3 of the way to $1 million. Why? Because you finally hired your money to step up and do the heavy lifting for you. Now, the real secret behind that magic boils down to intellect versus temperament. Basically, IQ versus EQ. Wealth is not built by complex formulas, fancy algorithms, or having a PhD in finance. It's built by emotional control. It is entirely about having the temperament to sit quietly on your hands, doing the boring things consistently while literally everybody else is panicking or trying to show off. Next up, Section 5, long-term thinking. Decades, not days. Adopting a mindset that looks ahead in decades rather than days is your absolute best defense against making impulsive, self-destructive decisions. The source redefines volatility in such a great way. It is the rent paid to time for long-term gains, rather than a sign of failure. If you start thinking in decades, volatility suddenly becomes your best friend. It isn't some disaster you need to panic over. It's just a mechanism that hands you incredible bargains if you're patient enough to wait for them. But we do have to watch out for a massive threat to this long-term view: envy. Envy is the most destructive emotion because it short-circuits time. When you sit there comparing yourself to some idiot on the internet who claims they made a 10x return overnight, it tempts you to trade your hard-earned discipline for a quick dopamine hit. Envy will ruin your own strategy. Just keep your eyes on your own garden and let time do the work. And that brings us to Section 6. True wealth is peace, redefining the goal. As we reach the philosophical climax of this explainer, we really need to completely redefine our ultimate goal. How does the source define wealth? It is the freedom to wait, the absence of a mortgage, and absolute peace of mind. True financial freedom isn't about collecting luxury items or inflating your lifestyle just to impress people who really don't care about you anyway. It's about minimizing your dependence on luck and securing absolute, undeniable control over your own time. So the crucial takeaway here is this: the smartest thing you can do after winning the game is to stop playing. This introduces the profound concept of enough. Most people actually end up losing their wealth simply because they can't stop tinkering with the machine. They get bored, they start taking massive unnecessary risks to try and turn 100K into 900K, and they wind up right back at 30K. They reach for excess instead of just letting the compounding machine run quietly. To summarize our ultimate goals based on everything we've covered: rational independence, control over your time, living on your own terms. Money at the end of the day is really just a byproduct of living a rational life. The real victory? That's being able to step away from all the noise with your peace and your sanity fully intact. Which leaves us with one final, incredibly provocative question, straight from the source material. Will you trade your hard-earned freedom back for a leather seat? I really want you to think about that for a second. When you finally endure all that boredom, push that massive boulder up the mountain, and build your compounding machine, are you going to protect it quietly, or will you sacrifice it all to your ego? Keep your discipline, protect your peace, and hey, thanks so much for joining me on this explainer today.